way back in the
Inside the deal, the secret negotiations to end Libya's program to build weapons of mass destruction 15 years after the bombing of Pan Am Flight 103. Victory at sea. U.S. warships seize millions in drugs tied to al-Qaeda while U.S. troops widen the hunt for bin Laden. Flu fears. With the death toll rising, what parents should know if their child gets sick. Showtime, Michael Jackson's party for family and supporters, what impact it could have on his case. And the big dig.
Thank you.
It's finally over, and it cost you billions.
We thank the taxpayers of America.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with John Siegenthaler.
Good evening, everyone. We're learning new information tonight about the secret talks between the Bush administration and Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi that led to Libya's decision last night to abandon weapons of mass destruction. However, news of the deal with Libya came as a shock to some of the families of the victims of Pan Am Flight 103, bombed by Libya 15 years ago tomorrow. NBC's Rosalind Jordan has the story.
U.S. intelligence officials said today that Libya first offered to dismantle its weapons programs to British officials last March, just as the U.S. went to war against Iraq. Analysts said Muammar Gaddafi was motivated less by the fear of possibly being toppled, as Saddam Hussein was, than by the strain of years of international isolation. On two extraordinary secret visits this fall, which included late-night visits with Gaddafi himself, officials said the CIA collected or photographed evidence of Libya's nuclear, chemical, and missile programs at dozens of sites. Analysts say this is clearly a victory for diplomacy.
Many times you hear people say UN sanctions don't work. They worked in the case of Libya. And this is the final proof that international cooperation, international sanctions work.
How far along were the Libyans? The officials say their nuclear program is active, but was rudimentary compared to those of North Korea, Iran, and even Iraq before the Gulf War. The officials said Libya had not produced chemical weapons in more than a decade, did not appear to have a biological weapons program, and had only short-range missiles, most bought from North Korea.
If you're trying to achieve the U.S. goal of a Middle East free of weapons of mass destruction, this is a major brick in place in that effort now.
For Dan and Susan Cohen of New Jersey, the news was a shock. It came just as they were getting ready to head to Washington to mark the 15th anniversary of Libya's bombing of Pan Am Flight 103, which claimed the life of their only child, 20-year-old Theodora. The Cohens say the U.S. should not be negotiating with Gaddafi's regime.
I would say, Mr. President, you have betrayed me. You have disappointed me. I had thought you were going to be strong, brave, and do the right thing.
It's too early to say whether the U.S. will lift sanctions against Libya. One senior administration official said last night it really depends on just how much information Libya reveals about its weapons programs. Rosalind Jordan, NBC News, the White House.
One member of the so-called Axis of Evil, North Korea, is showing no interest in giving up its weapons of mass destruction. NBC's Ned Colt reports from Beijing tonight, where multilateral talks were supposed to take place this week.
The government guest house in Beijing is guarded but empty. Talks planned to be held here this week postponed a second time. The goal of resolving North Korea's nuclear standoff with Washington delayed. Two earlier rounds of talks were marked only with handshakes, no real progress. Author and analyst Bruce Cummings says, if anything, contacts with the North are now deteriorating, and with them, hopes for a speedy resolution.
The Bush administration cannot unify its many different disparate parts and get agreement on what to do about North Korea.
There is new evidence that the North has aided Libya with missile technology, and there are worries it is moving ahead with constructing more than the 2 nuclear weapons the CIA believes it has. Meanwhile, conditions are worsening in North Korea. Today, the United Nations warned that millions are at risk of starvation because of a drop in international donations.
We didn't have all we needed last year, and now that we're confronted with 3 to 4 million people a couple of times early next year having to be cut off, it's a very serious problem.
Despite the ongoing crisis in North Korea, analysts say the regime also has no will to negotiate now. The North may hope it can get a better deal from a different, more accommodating president following the November election.
We know that this thing is not solved. This bomb is still ticking.
China's taking the lead role in trying to defuse the crisis, meeting with both sides, urging the North to negotiate and Washington to be more flexible in its demands. But it's having little success. However, there is hope that multilateral talks will resume in January. Ned Colt, NBC News, Beijing.
Now to the war on terror. A man in Turkey arrested Friday in connection with the suicide bombings in Istanbul last month now says he once met with Osama bin Laden. And while U.S. officials say they're determined to track him down, as NBC's Jim Masada reports tonight, the hunt for bin Laden continues to pose problems.
Today, a second victory in as many days in the war on al-Qaeda, this one also on the high seas. U.S. Navy warships intercepting 2 boats in the Persian Gulf, both carrying bales of pure heroin and other drugs. This just a day after a U.S. Navy cruiser seized some $10 million worth of hashish from another vessel in the same waters, in what Navy officials call a new drugs-for-money ploy to finance future al-Qaeda operations. Meanwhile, on land, the hunt for Osama bin Laden is picking up steam, with the largest U.S. military ground operation to date in Afghanistan. This one, dubbed Mountain Avalanche, some 2,000 U.S. troops are combing the rugged tribal areas close to the border with Pakistan. U.S. military officials say getting bin Laden is just a matter of time.
He will be captured someday, just like we captured Saddam Hussein.
But the capture of bin Laden, last seen in this videotape released some 3 months ago, will be much more daunting, experts say, than last weekend's capture of Saddam Hussein. Bin Laden, believed to be on the move between Afghanistan and Pakistan, enjoys deep support, unlike Saddam, in much of the Muslim world.
They name their children after him. They name their businesses after him. It is absolutely unacceptable, unbelievable that any Muslim would ever betray Osama bin Laden.
And in the latest act of defiance, al-Qaeda's number 2, Ayman al-Zawahiri, in an audio tape released on Friday, vowed to defeat America and traitor nations like Pakistan who support it. Indeed, Pakistan's President Pervez Musharraf has moved some 70,000 troops into tribal areas. But analysts say top members of Pakistan's military intelligence are still secretively loyal to bin Laden.
The very people who supported him are now expected to hunt him down.
So with much of Europe and the Middle East on heightened alert, and despite the most recent successes against the international terrorist network, Osama bin Laden remains on the loose and likely out of reach. Jim Masada, NBC News, London.
In the week since the capture of Saddam Hussein, President Bush is showing a slight increase in his popularity. According to a new Newsweek poll out tonight, the president's approval rating now stands at 54%, up 3 points from a week ago. But when asked if the president should be reelected, the country remains evenly divided. 46% yes, 46% no, a small shift from last week. The poll also shows that Howard Dean leads the pack among Democratic voters nationally, but in head-to-head races, President Bush would beat any of the Democrats running. And this program note, Tim Russard's guests tomorrow on Meet the Press include House Majority Leader Tom DeLay. In other news, there was a homecoming of sorts Friday night for U.S. Army Captain James Yee, the chaplain at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, accused of spying. As NBC's Fred Francis reports, the government's case against Yee is in trouble.
Captain James Yee, who 3 weeks ago was in chains in a military brig facing espionage charges, came home to Olympia, Washington last night.
This is tremendous, really tremendous.
Cheered by supporters, he could not speak of what he called a harrowing ordeal since his case is ongoing, but he told of his joy.
And I look forward to getting back home, getting back to sleeping in my own bed.
Captain Yee's ordeal began in September. A West Point graduate, he is an Army Muslim chaplain and was the pastor for prisoners at Guantanamo Bay until he became a prisoner himself, apparently, according to friends and lawyers, for having done his job too well.
Including aiding the enemy, espionage, spying, some potentially capital charges.
Yee was put in chains as a potential Syrian spy facing the death penalty.
It really sounds like this is somebody who complained about the treatment that Muslim prisoners were given, and the next thing he knows, he finds himself in solitary confinement.
76 days in solitary, knowing the government was building a case he was a spy.
Unfortunately, the damage to his reputation that was done at that time is probably irreparable.
Because now the U.S. Army admits there is no evidence that Captain Yi did anything more than mishandle what may be classified paperwork and have an adulterous affair. Yi, who married a Syrian woman and has a 4-year-old daughter, is by all accounts a model soldier, with 2 brothers also Army captains, one a West Point grad too.
Last week, Captain Yi saw the government's case collapse even further. Prosecutors asked for delay to re-examine the classified material, the so-called evidence that got him jailed in the first place.
The Army blamed the media for saying Yi was a suspected spy and justified his time in jail as appropriate.
When Chaplain Yi was apprehended at Jacksonville on the 10th of September, he was leaving the island of Guantanamo with classified information. We don't know what his intents were.
I think he's been through an incredible meat grinder.
His lawyers hope the Army drops all charges at a hearing next month. Fred Francis, NBC News, Washington.
On the Saturday before Christmas, U.S. health officials are concerned that holiday travelers will unknowingly spread the flu across the country this year. It's a strain of flu that's hitting children especially hard. Here's NBC's chief science correspondent, Robert Bazell.
Can I listen? At Vanderbilt Hospital in Nashville, children getting treated for the flu.
She's been running a high fever since Sunday, and it worried me.
In Wilson County, North Carolina, parents grieve for a 15-month-old who died from the flu. There have been at least 42 child deaths, rare occurrences compared to the millions who get the flu. But experts say there is no question that this year's strain can be hard on kids.
We have enough information now to say that this is a particularly severe year in children.
How should a parent know when to seek treatment for a child with the flu?
A prolonged fever that lasts more than 4 days, any kind of chest pain or discomfort, feeling faint, feeling confused. These are signs that there could be a complicating problem and should encourage people to seek medical attention.
The latest evidence from the CDC shows that the flu is now widespread in 36 states compared to 24 last week.
We know from experience in years where there's a lot of influenza activity that at the peak of the season, this is the way the map looks.
The CDC also collects reports from doctors' offices across the country, showing the number of visits for influenza-like illness. This year, the numbers continue to climb sharply, especially compared to last year, which was a mild flu season.
The question is, how much worse will the outbreak get as millions of people travel for the holidays with almost no vaccine left and an increasing shortage of the prescription drugs used to treat the flu? Robert Bazell, NBC News, New York.
Still to come on NBC Nightly News, the Freedom Tower, the new design for the World Trade Center site. Why is the plan so controversial? And later, the end of a traffic jam that cost taxpayers billions.
That cold's getting worse, Dad.
My nose is running, head's all blocked up. I need my Alka-Seltzer Plus.
I'll get your Alka-Seltzer Plus.
Only Alka-Seltzer Plus has an effervescent cold-fighting formula to break up nasal congestion and release you from your worst cold symptoms fast.
Feel better?
I do. That's my line. Alka-Seltzer Plus breaks up your worst cold symptoms fast. And now, rush relief with new Alka-Seltzer Plus Ready Relief tabs.
We're here showing folks how a packet of Hidden Valley Ranch changes regular chicken into ranch chicken.
Spices up the chicken, it's not boring.
And changes regular potatoes into ranch potatoes.
It's got more flavor to it. I like it, I really do.
Hidden Valley Ranch. This changes everything.
Burlington Coat Factory is having a holiday seal.
You mean sale.
No, it's way better than a sale. You get holiday gifts up to 60% off department store prices every day.
Really?
Top designer labels and fabulous fashions.
So don't just say sale when it's better than a sale.
Right.
So can we say hurry?
Be my guest. Burlington Coat Factory is better than a holiday gift sale. It's more than great coats.
Hurry.
You try to do right by him. You make time. You build up his confidence. You inspire him to be healthy. You encourage him to think for himself.
what's going on?
And what does it get you?
Hey, anybody want a cigarette?
2 little words you won't be there to hear.
No thanks. So you guys going out?
Talk to your kids about not smoking. They'll listen.
Mr. Hollingsworth?
Yes, ma'am.
This is Robin with OnStar. Your vehicle has been recovered.
Boy, you found it in a hurry. Thank you very much.
Oh, no problem. Anything else we can do for you?
No, ma'am, you did too much already.
OnStar is available on 51 GM models.
We asked people why they use stimulant-free Colace laxatives.
My doctor recommended it.
My doctor.
I heard about Colace capsules from my doctor.
My doctor told me.
Our family doctor.
Colace Capsules is the #1 stool softener brand recommended by doctors. Colace laxatives are stimulant-free to provide the comfortable relief people can rely on.
My son recommended it.
Your son?
Yes, my son, the doctor.
Colace Capsules. Ask your doctor.
NBC News in depth, reaching for the sky. The final design for the soaring tower that will replace the twin towers of the World Trade Center is now public. If all goes according to schedule, the cornerstone will be laid next year and the tower completed by 2009. But as NBC's Ron Allen reports, not everyone is pleased.
After months of bitter debate about what to build at Ground Zero, the first look at Freedom Tower. The architects envision a soaring structure spiraling upward like the raised torch of the Statue of Liberty to a height of 1,776 feet, commemorating Independence Day. It's designed to be the world's tallest building and a symbol of resilience and strength.
Every element of this plan shines and radiates that light of optimism, of New York as a center of the world.
For Michael Koo, who lost his father that day, finally seeing Freedom Tower's design marks a turning point.
I'm kind of consumed with a sense of optimism now about the site, a sense that I really have rarely had about it.
The plan calls for that vision to begin taking shape next year on the 3rd anniversary of the attacks, with the laying of Freedom Tower's cornerstone. But that plan and the broader question of what Ground Zero should become remains an emotional and contentious issue. New York's former mayor Rudolph Giuliani has called Freedom Tower a monument to corporate greed, a sentiment shared by many families who consider Ground Zero a sacred place. Lee Ielpi lost his son Jonathan on 9/11, like his dad, a firefighter.
We're frustrated. The process has not been fair to us, family members.
Ielpi worries skyscrapers like Freedom Tower are taking priority over remembering victims and heroes.
The memorial should be built first. The area should be designated first. Then you think about commerce and rebuilding the area.
Others question the wisdom of replacing the Twin Towers with a building 400 feet taller, suggesting it could become a target. The architects insist it will be solid.
I think it will be the safest building in the world because this was foremost in our mind.
But with all the controversy, there's some question whether Freedom Tower will be what actually ends up here. And as more plans for Ground Zero are revealed, those too will no doubt evoke more passion and grief. Ron Allen, NBC News, New York.
When we come back, supporters of Michael Jackson gather at his ranch. Is it part of a defense strategy?
There are many ways the American Red Cross helps save lives. Disaster relief services, preparedness classes, first aid and CPR training. But since the Red Cross isn't a government agency, our support comes from a rather extraordinary source. People like you, saving lives one donation at a time. To learn how you can make a difference, call the American Red Cross.
For my holiday meal, details matter, so I cook with Swanson broth. Made with real chicken and just the right amount of vegetables and seasonings. Swanson broth, flavors in, waters out.
The new Sonic Air Elite by Philips. With patented sonic technology, its bristle tips move 3 times faster than all other leading power toothbrushes for a deep cleaning experience unlike any other. Like that, only smaller. Sonic Air Elite removes stains and reverses gingivitis. For whiter teeth and healthier gums, guaranteed. Ask your dental professional. Stop brushing. Start Sonic Air.
Oh, what a time for a cold.
Nose is running, head's all blocked up. I need some Alka-Seltzer Plus.
Only Alka-Seltzer Plus has an effervescent cold-fighting formula that breaks up your worst cold symptoms fast. Alka-Seltzer Plus.
You want something to eat? I wonder if Deb is here. Hey, there you are!
Don't these look yummy? You just have to try one. It'll give you heartburn so bad it'll melt the buttons right off your shirt.
It's different for people with acid reflux disease.
And all that acid reflux may have puckered the lining of your esophagus.
Why wait? Talk to your doctor about the purple pill called Nexium. For many people, with one prescription Nexium daily, heartburn goes away and stays away.
And these are sure to send you home early.
Nexium actually heals acid reflux erosions in the esophagus. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. Talk to your doctor. The most common side effects of Nexium are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Want acid reflux relief and healing? Ask about Nexium today.
Now to the case against Michael Jackson. The latest development, a gathering of supporters tonight at Jackson's ranch, Neverland, in California. NBC's Mark Mullen joins us from Los Olivos, California. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening to you, John. This gathering for Michael Jackson is not only a pep rally of sorts, but also it could be part of a public relations campaign.
What's up, Mike? We love you, Mike. We support you. You are innocent.
While devoted Michael Jackson fans converged outside the Neverland Ranch, Jackson's parents in this black Mercedes waited to clear heavy security along with the other invited guests.
We love it.
We're here to show him support, and we have his back all the way.
In a week when the singer was charged with multiple counts of molesting and intoxicating a child, family and friends say this was an important time to be together.
This is what friends are all about, what friends often do, and that is come to the aid of and support, and sorry to be so mushy, but give love to people who have difficult or are in somewhat difficult times.
Firpo Carr is a family friend who attended today.
There's a lot of stress and tension and emotional turmoil, understandably. So now this is a chance to take a break.
It also may be a chance to create some good publicity. Before guests arrived, a private television production crew did, telling NBC News the 5-camera team was hired to record the Neverland party in concert with Michael Jackson as a headliner. What would the video be used for? In 1993, after Jackson was first accused of molestation, he videotaped a response declaring his innocence. After an out-of-court settlement, the accuser withdrew from the case, which was never prosecuted. Will today's party, with its hundreds of supporters on hand, serve as a backdrop for a new production to be shown later? And if so, could it help influence a jury pool? James Slater was the judge involved with Jackson's 1993 allegation.
You have to remember that probably everything that's done by the defense and prosecution as of this time is pretty well calculated. And from one side or the other, they hope that it's going to have a favorable effect on the public.
After the party, Michael Jackson, with the courts and with the prosecution's permission, will travel to London to promote his new CD. This will likely be his last overseas trip before his first scheduled arraignment. John, that is on January the 16th.
NBC's Mark Mullen. Mark, thank you. A Virgin Atlantic airline pilot was arrested last night at Washington's Dulles Airport after police said he had shown up for work apparently drunk. Captain James Harwell, who'd been a pilot for 14 years, was charged with attempting to operate an aircraft while under the influence of alcohol, according to the airline. Harwell, who police escorted from the plane, was scheduled to fly 383 passengers on a flight from Washington to London. When we come back, one American city digs its way out of traffic.
Pizzazz. Meet Harry and Sherry. Harry just bought a Presto Pizzazz pizza oven and can hardly wait. Sherry's been baking frozen pizza in her oven for years. He's already cooking because there's no preheating. She waits. The upper heating element cooks the topping as it turns for even baking, while the lower heating element crisps the crust. That's right, top and bottom baking. Sherry begins to bake. Start with frozen. Awesome. End up with the best pizza ever. Pizzazz. A promise from Presto.
If staying in the game is important to you, ask your doctor about new Levitra. Make this the play that matters. Take action. And ask your doctor if a free sample is right for you. Now's the time to ask about new Levitra.
Do you have heartburn 2 or more times a week?
You may have a more serious condition called reflux disease or GERD.
Heartburn care is changing. There are new medications available without prescription, but some things don't change. If not properly treated, serious heartburn can lead to esophageal cancer. Cells in the esophagus change before cancer develops. The only way to know for sure, see your doctor. Heed the label on new over-the-counter products.
My advice? See your doctor.
Call 1-800-HRT-BURN for a free video.
Your vehicle doors are unlocked at this time.
Okay, the vehicle doors are unlocked. Okay, can you hang on just till we find out? You're a hero. Everybody is so excited. It's magic. Thank you so much.
OnStar is available on 51 GM models.
If you have a cold and high blood pressure, you should know that decongestants in these medicines can raise your blood pressure. So why take them? Take decongestant-free Coricidin HBP, powerful relief that won't raise your blood pressure. You're purple.
Yeah. So am I. And I'm Air Miles.
So am I.
Bank One presents Personal Platinum.
And I chose the low interest rate.
Me too.
And I'm middle of the month payment.
No, I'm beginning of the month.
You're purple.
Yeah.
Bank One's Personal Platinum. Choose the one for you.
I like Pilates.
Oh, I love drinking those.
Individual answers. Bank One.
Sunday, Saddam captured. The future of Iraq and Decision 2004. Tom DeLay plus Carville and Madeline weigh in. If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
A warning about store credit. NBC Nightly News Monday.
It was big and expensive. Billions over budget, years in the making. The most expensive public works project in American history officially opened this morning in Boston. It was called the Big Dig, and for drivers and taxpayers, it was a big headache. NBC's Pat Dawson is in Boston.
The end of the Big Dig was a bit behind schedule. Roughly 5 years behind, when Elaine Cronin became the first driver on the last section of completed road.
We've been watching this for years. It's amazing. It's miraculous.
To its critics, Boston's Big Dig is a black hole of government waste and ineptitude. But its backers see an engineering triumph. 2 years ago, Matt Amarello was brought in to oversee the runaway project.
I think where we failed on the public side during the late 90s was failing to disclose to the public the changing price tag.
A price tag that began at $2.6 billion, now 5 times that. The project is immensely complex. Boston's main downtown highway reconstructed underground around subway lines and water pipes, while traffic roared overhead. A new bridge and a new tunnel under Boston Harbor.
This project is up with the Hoover Dam, the Panama Canal.
It may not look as impressive as the Panama Canal or the Hoover Dam, but experts agree this is a monumental feat of engineering. And it comes with a monumental price tag as well. The final cost of nearly $15 billion is nearly twice the cost of the Panama Canal in today's dollars. And you paid for most of it.
We thank the taxpayers of America.
60% of the bill paid by federal tax money.
Congressman Barney Frank said that at these prices, it would be cheaper to raise the city than to dig these holes, and he's right.
Though the project's last stage may win over a lot of skeptics. Boston's central artery, which sliced historic sections of the city in half, will be torn down, replaced by parks and reunited neighborhoods. Truly remaking the face of one of America's first cities. Pat Dawson, NBC News, Boston.
That's NBC Nightly News for this Saturday. Thanks for watching. I'm John Siegenthaler in New York. I'll see you back here again tomorrow night.
NBC News, America's news leader.
Next week on Today, only a few shopping days left. What can you still do if you've left it all to the last minute? Don't worry, we'll have help. Plus, holiday music from Michael Feinstein, Aaron Neville, Harry Connick Jr., Ashanti, Michael Bublé, and more. The celebration goes on all week. Share your holidays with The Today Show, only on NBC.
MSNBC Monday. America's troops are risking it all to fight for freedom. So why are they being denied the latest bulletproof technology? Hardball, Monday on MSNBC.
Dad, where do babies come from?
Well, it's complicated, Jimmy. First, a man falls in love with a beautiful woman. He chases her until he finally proposes to a girl who's actually in his league. Then, after paying $30 a head for something called a reception, he gets what he never ever thought he would. A mother-in-law.
When the minimum is all you really want, call 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Minimum coverage for minimum budgets.
Are you with me so far, Jimmy?
If you buy your new furniture anywhere but Metro Furniture, you'll pay too much. Why pay a lot in 2005 at those other stores when you can pay a little now during our pre-holiday sale? Dining room suits from $9.99. Sleeper sofas starting at